Hey guys, you're watching Boondocking. Blocking? Can we edit that out? Nope. Damn it. You're watching Boondocking with Dennis. It's 50 degrees at 11 a.m. Rockport, Texas. The wind is down to 18 miles an hour. How about that? Woohoo! I'm actually on the pad of the old Alice Faye's restaurant. Not the original Alice Faye's, the second version of Alice Faye's. And then for years it was the Oyster bar. And now I believe some of the fishermen use it to tie up sometimes, although I don't see any boats right here. Maybe with the high winds they moved back into the harbor. There's a little bit of a protection out there. I see somewhat of a seawall. But this area right here was where Alice Faye's was when they moved to a bigger building. That tall centerpiece was the center of the bar that went up to the roof. And then the right-hand side was the restaurant. And then it became the Oyster bar. Got very interesting skies. We got a few spritzes of rain, but most of it went north of us and stayed north. Looks like Victoria got pretty hard. But all the rain they were calling for, we didn't see any of it yesterday. Didn't see anything overnight. And I got up at 7 and it was cool and I didn't have to be anywhere. So from 7 till about 10:30, I straightened up the back, my Lear topper. If you're new to the channel, leave now. I live full-time in my F-150 with a Lear topper. And what kind of palm tree that is? Huh. Palmetto. It's not a tree, Dennis. Go with the joke. I saw, and I hope I'm getting the name in place right here, Rick and Lori from Iowa at the red light leaving Walmart this morning, and they said hello, and we had talked before, and yeah, nice people. They just spent some time by Bird Island on Padre Island National Seashore on Padre Island. So good morning. It was nice to see you guys. Here's your scream. Come on. Man, the goat is still sleeping. Can we edit out the mistakes from this video? No, okay. Good morning. There you go. Man, this used to have tables and people hopping and little honky-tonk music in the bar and people dancing, and Alice Faye had the best burgers. Used to take the kids here, and when we ordered our food, we would take the crackers, and then we would have you had to eat the pack of crackers. It was probably 2 saltines with no water in under 30 seconds. You know, we'd have that contest. And then the kids invented you would take the crackers and butter and hot sauce, and that would be the appetizer. Bet you someone's still paying for electricity there. Usually when I come here, there's people fishing, but not too many people want to be out in this mess today. I remember one time excuse me. One time I was in here eating with the kids. We had already ordered food and we got our drinks and we're waiting for the entrees, and there's, you know, our table's covered in empty cracker wrappers and buttery knives and everything else. every other kind of mess me and 7 kids can make. And the lady came over and said, and I think we had at least 2 tables pushed together. She's like, we have to move you to another table. And I'm like, what's wrong? This part of the ceiling going to fall in? What's going to happen? She said, well, the Mahjong club is coming in, and this is their spot. I'm like, ooh, what motorcycle gang is the Mahjong club that we're afraid of them? You know, what's going on with the Mahjong club? And she said, well, they always sit in this area. And we were literally the only other people in the restaurant. I think there was a 2-top that had a couple people in it over in the corner. And we were like, no. Place is empty. Push 2 different tables together. So we wound up leaving and going to have a very enjoyable meal someplace else because they weren't going to service our food. So, and I don't think I ever went back. And Alice Faye went out of business and became the Oyster Bar. So who won that? I mean, I'm not looking much better than this dilapidated building here, but at least I'm still hanging in there. I think I went into the Oyster Bar once. I didn't eat there, but I sat at the bar, and it was depressing. There were some career drinkers there. And yeah, that's the only time I went into the Oyster Bar. I had a neighbor over at the apartment buildings who would always tell me he went here. And that guy was a real jerk. I tried to avoid him at all costs. But he told me he was basically being bullied into buying people drinks. And I went, well, that doesn't sound like something, you know, that was his story. I'm like, well, why do you keep going back there then, you know? Because it can't be for the company. Just another career alcoholic that you meet on the way. Backing up slowly. Michael Jackson had a YouTube channel. This is everything would be backwards, right? We're probably going to catch some wind here when we get into the 18-mile-an-hour category. You can see the causeway that we did the video about this morning, right over there in the distance. Let me get it about center. That little loop right there is the causeway. So that's pretty neat. That was a neat little history. I remember seeing the 3 bridges all up at the same time. They had the original one that became the fishing pier. And then the second one, which was okay, didn't have the character of the first one. And then while they were building the 3rd one, they still had the fishing pier there. Look at that, guys. There's your postcard. There's your postcard right there. We have had some pretty skies. But when they were building the 3rd one, the one we currently have, apparently they did some structural damage to the original pier bridge. And Hurricane Harvey didn't help. So that had to come down. It was deemed unsafe. And then, of course, the old one came down. The second one came down because they didn't need it anymore. I did get a joke from my friend Judy. What do you call a bulletproof Irishman? Ricochet. Ricochet. Thank you, Judy. That was a good one. I never heard that one before. That might be too good for my channel. Let's get out here on the road. On the road again. Oh, it's gorgeous. Wind's coming out of the north. We're going to have a little puppy dog. Little puppy dog. Little puppy dog right there. Little friend for Hammer. Little friend for my buddy Hammer. Yeah, it's I mean, I know this weather kind of wrecked everyone's spring break, but it is really good sleeping weather to just be comfortable. I slept with a comforter, but like no socks, no shirt, slept in my shorts, and my body warms up the back of the Lear topper pretty good. Matter of fact, when I first got in there last night, it was still light and I had the windows open just to get a little, it was too hot with the sun hitting it. And that gave me a little, they're really making progress on these homes. They are homes, right? Yeah, homes for somebody. Yeah, we always had a good time at Alice Faye's. They just had the best burgers, especially at the original building up here where the Sugar Shack is now. Man, I could go there for breakfast or lunch every day. And at the time, I only lived about 3 or 4 blocks away. I rented a room in Fulton from a lady. I had my room had its own bathroom, and in the bathroom there was kind of a counter area, and that was my kitchen. And I had a microwave, and actually a friend of mine had a full-size fridge. So I had a full-size fridge in my bedroom, and it was great because it had a full-size freezer on top. And I would make my own ice overnight and get blocks of ice for my ice chest. Huh. That's weird. I guess we're looking at Lamar over there. I don't remember seeing Lamar like that. I don't come over here a whole lot. Good morning, boys. Hope you're having a good day. There's a Fulton fishing pier. I have a really awesome video. I think it's an awesome video of the Fulton fishing pier lit up at night. And see how it has those green lights on it? They also have underwater green lights, and they're used to attract fish. So, and it was a real windy, cold night. And I shot about half the footage, and my buddy Mark walked the pier for me, and all the way to the end, both sides of the T-head there, and edited it all together with the sound of the wind, and the wind was whipping. I like that video. Well, guys, it's going to be a good day today. And they've actually changed the weather forecast. In about 3 or 4 days, we're going to be back into the 70s again. So that'll be a good time to go report Aransas. Maybe there'll be a second wave of spring breakers coming. Look how rough that water is. Woo. Now we know why everyone's in the harbor here. Big difference between the water out there and the water in the harbor here. This is Fulton Harbor. Beautiful Fulton, Texas. It's like Rockport, but with less rules. Miss Lucille. Nice. Truck coming at me. Let me see if I can get out of his way. I am out of his way. I give him a thumbs up. Let him know I appreciate him. I could look at boats and harbors all day, guys. Work in harbor for the most part, but there's some, you can see there's some recreational boats over there. Well, guys, I hope you're keeping warm. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for riding along. There's a postcard right there. Thanks for watching.